Football is a phenomenon. It has been around for 1400 years. It is safe to say it's in our DNA to kick a ball. In most countries, it is the first and the last sport picked up by most of the population. So there are many ideas surrounding it. What makes it fun though? Is it just the goals? Is it the fast dribbles? Or is it simply watching your side, which is the good one, beat the other one? Very hard, very subjective questions. And I won't answer these, by the way. I'll just rant about the most popular football manga and maybe the most popular football story to date, Blue Lock. This video is aimed to be a discussion ground, so I won't go over any of the basic elements. This is solely for people who are caught up, and I just want to ramble about one of my favorite stories. A more personal one will come later. The goal for this video is to choose my favorite arc in Blue Lock. General criteria: football aspect, educational value for football, characterization, plot quality, rereadability. So, without further ado, Introduction arc. This part is 4 chapters, so it isn't an actual contender, but just to fresh things up. Isagi got eliminated from Nationals because his friend missed a wide open shot created by Isagi. Isagi hates what happened, but ultimately thinks he did the right thing, until Ego tells no. Yeah. He says that a striker isn't supposed to be a team player but an egoist. Isagi likes the idea, joins Blue Lock, and they are playing it. Isagi goes after the strongest in order to change. Characterization was phenomenal in these 4 chapters, not only for Isagi but for the supporting cast of Bachira, Kunigami, Kira. There isn't actual football being played, so no comment, but the education part was basic, played as a nice twist against Kira. There being 2 seconds left and him just accepting makes sense as a mistake. Isagi redefined himself and his goals. And spoiler alert, this is a common theme. First selection arc. This part had 4 matches, might be the most out of all. First one against Baro's team. The talk of producing one from zero was nicely put. And the hardworking, strong-minded Baro structuring a team around himself was well thought out. If you've played soccer in middle school, you know the mess that follows anyway, so at the end of the match, showing Isagi might not have changed much. When he passed Konigami is a great tool for future plots. Most stories make progress so sudden, and here, Bullock taking this time to show Isagi doesn't immediately produce a giant jump. Second match, not much to talk about. It was a nice foundation for Isagi's eyes, and how he's able to read everything. It was hinted and slowly gets realized. Third match, mostly characterization. Long haired dude cheating made a lot of sense. If nobody had done it, would have been stupid. Also, giving the crazy Isagi face with Chigri was nice. Ultimately, helped Chigri break his gears, and not much else going on. Fourth match with Nagi and Ryo was hype. Them rejecting the cheating proposal because they don't need it was tough. And them copying the long pass much better at the start was devastating. The quick trio was unexpected. Mabu Bachura, he pulled the ultimate show. Kunigami exceeding himself was good too. The third goal was out of ass, but the ending brings everything Isagi together in this arc. Him rejecting passing and understanding himself was a great plot point. Overall, this part had its great football moments, not much tactic but a blue lock, a ton of goals, and Isagi's new understanding being conveyed helped for the football aspect to be at a respectable level. Characterization was through the roof with this one. Around 7 new characters got spotlights, and already known characters got a bit deeper. Isagi's progression was incredible though. The constant battle forging him was very well established, and him making some mistakes made everything better. Plot was interesting enough, them being called the Last Five Squads, the betrayal, the match choreographies were all good. I especially respect them more in hindsight because they don't have out of ass superpowers, but I still don't think there's much readability here. I tried to read it, but everything felt dull. Maybe because of Enya's bullshittery, but I don't know. Second selection arc. This part starts with some physical and football training. Underwhelming chapters, really. I know the idea is to make the jumping power sensible, but dude, this manga will be about an omnipotent gun-wielding monsters in NEL. No justification possible. Next part is awesome though. My favorite trio at the time came together, Bachira, Nagi, Isagi. Nagi saying "freak you" to Rio creates some needed tension. Then these guys go against the best in Bulldog, against a guy that is so good he can hit 2 balls against each other like. What? And this part was great. Ring calling football a battlefield and showing huge difference in skill was needed for this part, especially when Segi started slacking. And starting with a loss put great stakes on the next match. That one was just nice characterization for Isagi to start learning from others. Did he use it that much? No, I don't think so. He used the off-ball movement he learned, but stopped learning much new stuff, except for new eyes to see the field, of course. Third match was the closest match, and it was pretty great. This gave rise to Isagi being a vulture demon on the pitch and probably gave Baro PTSD. He just keeps searching redemption for what happened then. And the whole devouring spiel started here. It is fun seeing people going around like, I will devour you, we need to devour each other and shit. But I gotta admit, I hate what happened to Baro, the most respectable guy until then got done so dirty. Last match and the rematch with Rin was incredible. And this just again proved nobody trusts themselves enough to challenge Rin except Sai. Everyone's at the top of their game. We get great Bajra passes, we get mid-air trap from Nagi. It goes on as a nail biter, and we even get Isagi outsmarting Rin, which was an actual smart moment of thinking just one little step farther. But the ending was magnificent. Butcher being forgotten, only to awaken and take control of the field, only one to remember his old friend is Sagi, and everything being decided by luck. But this day will never be forgotten by Sagi. He now understands anyone with an ego will produce an outburst when pushed aside. This was what happened with Ness, and he was able to react thanks to this moment. Football aspects were okay here. Finally, someone respects off-ball movement, which is like 90% of an individual's game. Overall, match tactics were fine, nothing crazy. Characterization was okay with this one. Isagi got his change, and now he became a full-fledged egoist. Barrow got some character assassination. He became an absent-minded guy who's obsessed over Sagi. Rin is just Rin, human equal of Yeast. Butcher had his moment, but overall, not much in terms of growth. Plot was great. The stakes were high every match, and we actually didn't know if Isagi would win most of the matches since only one of them was direct elimination. And winners choosing someone were always such a roller coaster since we actually somewhat knew everyone, and the match choreographies were better than average. Now going on, third selection arc. Wait, there's a third one? I totally forgot about this. And for a good reason. Even the author knew, and we got these short ass matches with random Isagi goals. Only good part is that we learn about actual good players like Karasu, Otoya, Yukumiya. But even then, we get so many new faces in such short matches. I forgot most of them when I got to the U20 match. Overall, not much to praise except for relatability. It felt like I was reading it for the first time. Going on to U20 match. Now, this is my jam. This is the first time Bulldog players actually going up against a team with tactics. We know and we are shown that Japan U20 is nothing special. They don't have much special players except for the defense line. But the supposed greatest young midfielder joins them. We also know this is a match between brothers. This part's important idea was flow and how to enter this state. And it had a nice explanation on it. The one and only time I heard about flow was Kuroko Basket. And if you watched it, flow is just a superpower. But putting it as just a hard enough challenge was a nice teaching point and actually implementable to your own life. The first chapter, setting the stage for some personal dynamics, were much appreciated for the 40 chapters of this arc. And on this topic, 40 chapter is a good number for an arc, right, Aniel? We get two back-to-back Isai stuff from Sai and Nagi. Rin trying to imitate Sai was really cool. At the start of this part, Ego still seeing Yoichi as a way to bring Rin's talent out was sensible. Bulldog players combining their moves were always great too. The boring parts were sadly the Rin parts. I just can't have fun when this sorry ass dude is around. His backstory was mediocre. Okay, I love that he took most of his character from his big bro, cause that somewhat happens, except for that it doesn't add much to human plain bread. Shido's goals were great. The Ibrahimovic imitation was fun, though extra, but fun. The last goal from Inzaghi was just incredible. Even such a simple shot being so emotional is a sign of the great writing here. But this also being the second time Isagi pulling a heist because he believed in someone feels repetitive, especially when rereading. Overall, I love the fans on both sides. The thought process of Nico and Aiku, very nice pace of change. Many characters coming together was handled with grace. All the characters that I actually cared got their time. This arc was a culmination of everything until now for Sagi. He finally surpassed his own expectations, arrived at a place he couldn't even imagine, highlighted by his chat with his old friend. The plot had nice stakes and tried to create surprises with the little chance it has, because of course Bulldog is gonna win, but like it still has surprises. It was even logical in itself with Sai's own aims and Baru's ideas and so on. I believe its rereadability is the best one out there. It is a compact match, has a ton of moments, long enough to be read in one sitting. The most football part of the whole series too. And yeah, New Egoist League seemed like a nice idea to start. How naive I was. First up, I find the sheer quantity of this arc stupid. There really isn't any reason this took as much time as everything else. And ending we get for this longest arc is baffling, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We get the top 5 league representatives bring their apparently shit youth squads, and one star player, representative of this ideology. Because Isagi is so logical and smart, he chooses Germany, whose squad is a bunch of illogical guys glazing their striker. The start is people choosing their teams, and it was fine, a nice excuse for everybody to be even more sharper in their own fields. Bachira going to Neymar, Boro with Ibrahimovic, Shigiri with Ronaldo, and well, they are different names, but you get it. I want to say my first expectation out of this giant arc was polish and some depth to the established cast, especially people close to Isagi, like is a story. Show some different tactics since these guys are from different cultures. Give us a glimpse of future level and I mean set the stage. What do we get? One mediocre match and smallest improvement for Bajra, who loses to everybody else. Nagi plays one good match, then becomes awful. The last chapter makes me hopeful a bit, but like he didn't learn anything. Rio was okay. Kunigami, I mean, the shittiest way to revive a character. I would just respect the author much more if he just killed an important character because it is a death game, baby. Baro learns Predator. Great, nothing else. It took us 150 chapters to get here, and I don't know where these chapters went. The only praise is, I don't know, Hiyori, his depth. Tactic wise, it tried to be smart. Barsha trying some dribbles, Manshine being a bit physical, Uber's trying to be a unit, but ultimately all of them are like any other team. And the greatest example is PSG, PXG, yeah, which is, I believe, similar enough to its old real life counterpart. Like right now, it's a youth heavy team, but they are known for their hyper individual skill based team, and I respect it for fitting the insert any blue lock team package. For Future 11, I gotta say, I'm not impressed. Charles didn't get any depth, he's just a good passer. The only other character is Kaiser. But okay, I can't say bad stuff about my Pookie. He really was the only redeeming factor in this arc. Even though he was a bit too illogical at times, he was a great rival and an actual human being with a great backstory, with interesting thoughts. If it wasn't for the writer, he would have done so much more. Overall, I think while entertaining at times, this arc isn't impressive. The spectacle grew too large, characterization got put on hold, and it was still kind of fun, but not my favorite. So, the list: sixth place, third selection, hardly an arc. Fifth place, introduction arc. Again, hardly an arc. Fourth place, Neo Egoist League. I hate you. Third place, second selection. Just to confuse you guys, second place, first selection. And first place, of course, U20 arc. See you guys. Thanks for watching.